Hey everyone, welcome back to our Texas Homestead. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to do some spare ribs. Spare ribs, when you first get them, as you know, they kind of funky because, you know, they are spare ribs. I trim mine up, make them look a lot better, and I'll bring you in, kind of show you what I do, and we'll get them ready to cook. Come in, take this big chunk of mainly fat and trash off of it. There is some meat there. Try to stay away from the meat parts, of course. Everybody does their ribs different. And if you're buying St. Louis ribs, of course, they're not going to look like that. But to me, super fatty ribs have more flavor, but you have to fight with, of course, the fat. Of course, then you got to come in. To me, the silver skin on these is harder to get off compared to like baby backs and stuff. You got to come in and fight a little bit, try to get it off. To me, with gloves, it's a little harder, but just take a spoon, try to get an edge. And work your way down. These got thawed out a little bit more than I wanted to. The little bit firmer that the meat is, the easier it is to get this silver skin off. Okay. All right. Try to show you how to do this one. This is a spare rib when you get it. I've already done a couple. There's silver skin here that you're trying to get off. And you want to get it off, of course, because it makes it more tender. I said this one got thawed out a little bit more than I wanted. The least, I won't say least, a little more frozen that it is, the easier it is to get that silver skin off. And I try to start at the first rib. Try to break it free. It's easier to do without a glove on than it is with a glove, if you can actually grasp it. Just get a handful and pull it as far as you can. If this was more frozen, it truly just comes right off. Sorry, my dishwasher's running and I can't turn it off. All right, this chunk of meat here, to me personally, it's got a lot of fat in it. It's good, but to me it's in the way of my ribs. Okay, now a lot of fat here. I come in, get rid of all the cartilage here at the front of it. And if you miss, just go back in and get it. And then I come right down the top of my bones. All right, and you'll see there's a line of cartilage. Okay, then you've got another big chunk of rib meat here. This has some meat on it, don't get me wrong, it's got some good layers to it. If you wanted to come in and get around the cartilage to do it, you can get it, but you're still gonna get, typically you get some. I kind of discard it. And then you have a nice little set of rack of ribs. What rub you put on your ribs? Everybody has a little different one. The one I use, the one I like, the one I think is amazing, and you can actually mix it up and store it for a year, is right here. So let me bring you in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doubling my recipe. So I'm going 2 cups of packed light brown sugar. Then I have 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of ground mustard, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, or fine chopped garlic, whatever you want to do. 2 tablespoons of salt, a half a tablespoon of black pepper. Okay, just come in, mix it up. Easy. Don't make your ribs, your seasoning so hot that, you know, I won't say hot, but, you know, too spicy that other people don't want to eat your ribs. Okay? So always start out with a nice, smooth, really good tasting rub. And then they can add the barbecue sauce that, you know, if you have a good spicy sauce, they can add that. Okay? So all you have to do now, if you want to, store it in a jar, and you're good to go to keep this for a year for all your pork rubs, especially ribs. All right, now that you got your rub made, all you do, sprinkle some on, give it a good coating, okay? Rub it in. You only put one hand that's ever been in the ribs in the bowl, okay? Get both sides, even though I plan on using all this rub today. Just that easy. Let me get these others ready and then we'll get them in the oven. I'll show you how to make them. Okay, the way I'm gonna do these today is put them in the oven, 350 degrees for about 1.5 to 2 hours. When the meat starts pulling away from the bone, then you'll come back and barbecue them and then raise your temperature. We'll get to that in a little bit. So, let's go ahead and put them in. 350. Now, about halfway through, 30, 45 minutes, I want to come in, I want to swap those pans. I want to put the top pan on the bottom so we can try to evenly heat everything and make sure everything's going to be cooked all the way through. So, see you back here in about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how it cooks, and we'll see how we go. All right, and we're back. We can see bones are starting to pull away. Now, normally, if I'm cooking it on the pit, I don't do this, but I want to drain the juice out of it. Take it, put it in the sink, so that way, when I take my sauce and put on it, the juice itself doesn't take the sauce away. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot, but it's really and truly, it's just a nice, smooth, thin coat over them. Obviously, I'm right-handed. Do both sides. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit down in the pan. Now, this is where you want to pay attention. Bone side is definitely down during this process. Okay? Because what you're going to do, you're going to put it back in at 425 degrees. Then we're going to make a nice little bark on these in the oven, to which normally I'd be able to do it with my smoker. So remember, I told you these gloves are amazing. You feel no heat while you're picking up these ribs. They do get slick with the sauce though. And those are those little chunks of meat that we cut off from the sides of the ribs, which you don't even have to fight a bone for. All right, bones down, come back, relayer if you need to. And then throw them back in. Now it's 425. Basically what you're looking for on it is just a nice little bark, get a little color, get that barbecue sauce built into the ribs. So we'll take a look at them again here in a few minutes. All right, we're back. Got the ribs ready, got them the darkest as I wanted them, and I'll bring you in and show you how they came out. I love you can't. Got so much meat on them you can't see them exactly. They are much easier to cut from the opposite side. All right. Obviously, these things are still smoldering hot, but everything's cooked nice. You don't get the smoke ring that you would get from a barbecue pit. But, you know, if you wanted to add a little bit of smoke flavor to it, you can always add a little bit of liquid smoke to your deal. But these are fabulous. Come right off the bone. I mean, Flavor wise is great. Cooked great. Probably some of the easiest barbecue ribs you will make from home without having to go out to your pit, fire it up, get some wood, get everything going. So, highly recommend it. Definitely give it a try. Let me show you something else about these gloves and how easy they are. Okay. Easiest way to clean these, some soap, some water, and then just wash your hands. They don't get wet, they don't soak in water, as long as you don't get it down the tops, of course. Dry them off. So, if you're interested in a nice set of barbecue gloves, links down in the description. They will say barbecue gloves. They won't be in the cast iron section of my cast iron gloves. So, recommend them. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you here next time on Our Texas Homestead. Thanks, guys. Oh, yeah. Do something y'all keep forgetting to do. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to it. 78% of you are watching the videos and not subscribing. We'll see you next time. And in case you're wondering, the second set came out better than the first set. To show you that rib meat that I cut off the top. Okay, just nice meat, easy to cut. Don't forget, use a nice sharp knife. See y'all next time.